strategy is to make the decision, but in the end, it will be misfortune. So I guess we're just taking round the rosy.
Yeah. I mean, I think he was thinking about the follow-ups because your team comp is more about just jumping into enemy more than peeling your AD carry, right? So he was considering Kai'Sa at first, but yeah, Kai'Sa is not great champion to play out. And I mean, MF plus Sett is actually kind of strong lane. So I think they have great tool for the early game, and they already finished up with the Galio Camille combo on the top side. So I think it really depends on like how they stand out for the early game, because obviously DRX, they're gonna control the mid jungle with the TF plus Graves combination. So I think it really depends on DRX how they snowball the early game, and if nothing is gonna happen until the mid game, the game 1 situation is gonna happen, which is T1 is gonna automatically win the team fight with their team composition.
Yeah, especially if Teddy's positioning can be good, and that will be difficult this game because he has to deal with Twisted Fate porting in on top of him, Leona, Flash Zenith Blade. He just doesn't have all that much peel unless the Galio is going to be sitting on top of him with things like that. But you imagine that most of T1 are going to be diving on their opponents to try and kill Deft. So this is a Deft versus Teddy position off. Now let's see who's going to be able to stand out ahead. As I do like what DRX have put together as far as an aggressive comp is concerned. And let's see whether the Senna carry can actually work out here as Faker makes his re-debut for potentially T1's final game in the regular season for 2020. He's going to be on his Galio. Certainly has had some great performances in the past. You could probably say that about every champion that Faker has ever played. And welcome back, Unkillable Demon King. Let's see whether he can manage to find the same amount of success that Closer was able to in Game 1.
Yeah. Maybe this matchup, it's kind of harsh for Faker to have a better CSing and laning phase.
Yeah, right.
Because of the matchup. I hope people are not too harsh on him, because he picked up for his team. And this time around, we just need to look up the difference between Chovy's Galio and Faker's Galio is that he has the better team comp to use those Galio's abilities when it comes to the team fight. Because last time when they had Evelyn, the flank was not enough to available the Galio's abilities enough. So I think it really depends on him to use the Galio's abilities this game. So we'll see what's gonna happen when DRX are gonna try to finish up the early game snowball with TF and Graves.
Let's also see whether this can be a 3-game series. That's what I'm looking forward to. I want DRX to be able to show us that they are actually a second-place team here in the LCK. Because after Game 1, after their series against Solo and Prince, I am not convinced that they're at that level at the moment.
No one
especially
is convinced, I would say.
Yeah, right. Especially after seeing what T1's been able to do recently, apart from their Darm1 series, as well as Gen G looking better and better. As Deft finding some damage, but Keria also doing what he can. Good sidestep there from Deft to get out of the Haymaker. And I feel like Teddy is the last player that we have here in the LCK that still likes the misfortune, as Canna finds a really nice hook shot onto Doran. Doran's still trying to fight this one out. Gets the passive to go for that trade, but as you can see, he's going to need to go home for a reset, and we'll miss out on a bit of these minions as well, as Pyosik here just farming out his Raptor camp. Canna having a really good start to this game already.
Yeah. And Doran is one of the players who is rolling a dice so many times. I mean, he's carrying some games, but yeah, it's kind of 50-50 chance, Doran is gonna 1v9 the game, or he's not gonna have good time. Oh
no, the quick draw into the brush. Goodbye, Pyosik. The smite is going to come through. He flashes, but Cuzz is going to flash after him. The red buff comes through as Faker's already... What? What? Okay. Sometimes you just want to flash, and that's what Faker wanted to do right there.
I mean, he tried to catch up with Nimbus Clock, but didn't happen. So...
It looked a little bit odd.
I mean, I thought Graves is gonna to survive, but because of the first dash, it looked like a bit weird at the first moment. But anyways, the outcome is still same. He survived because of the face rush. And this time around, he got flash.
Well, there's the face breaker onto Keria. He does have a fair bit of safety, as Deft is going to get a bit of damage down onto the Sett. Minion wave is going to crash forward. And the bottom lane in control here by T1 at the minute. Top side as well, looking very, very good for Canna. So far so good for T1, despite that interesting moment in the jungle. This time, very lucky for Pyosik that he's not going to be playing from a big deficit.
Yeah. But it's actually really interesting to see how Cuzz is active, because he's known as defensive jungler. He's known as just play safe, and when your laners are losing, just escape your jungle and just look for the cans like with smart moves. But this time around, he's just so aggressive. Like it reminds Afrika Frix's jungler, Dread.
Yeah, right.
Invading 24/7 with his laners Prios, and it kind of helps so many times T1 side. And even though it's not like impact kill ganks or like killing enemy jungler actually, but still it's helping their laners to have such an easy lane, because you spotted enemy jungler and you forced out him out of the jungle, so it's still great for them.
It was a bit weird there from Canna, but I think he was looking for a reset anyway, so can use your health bar as a resource a bit there. You can see Deft and Keria doing okay here underneath the turret, and in fact are ahead in farm, even with that minion wave yet to clear up, so doing much better than it looked. But T1 should still be able to take down this first Drake. It's a Cloud, not exactly the greatest, but they will be on track for an early Soul if they can continue a snowball of objectives. And Faker down by about 11 CS, but you can't compare him to Closer in this game, because of course it's not melee versus melee, it is melee versus range, and it's a little bit more difficult for the Galio to farm things out. There's Canna up here. He went for his reset, got himself double Doran's Blade against the arm guard that Doran now has completed, so that's going to help out. But Canna last hitting beautifully underneath this turret. Oh, just love it. Love to see it.
Yeah, not missing a single crit. That's just a life goal when you're playing League of Legends, right?
Jonas Strong's dream as well, because of course we know how much he likes blast hitting. So with happy observers, we continue this game. Very, very even at the moment, although there is a slight advantage when it comes to Drakes here in favor of T1.
Yeah, and those kind of small early game leads were needed from DRX, actually. But that jungle invade situation caused by Cuzz was really impactful, even though it was not kill. Still, so I think every game plan he planned for the early game, Cuzz, it worked out perfectly in so many recent games. And look, I mean, every laners are just having free lane and helping jungler as well, so they're just having such a great moment between the jungler and laner, T1.
Yep, just chilling at this point in time. And their comp is going to be very happy moving into a mid and late game like you illustrated already in the draft. DRX, it's up to them to really get some stuff going here early, and this might be their opportunity. Effort going to take a fair bit of damage as there's a teleport in from Faker. Not sure what the Destiny was doing, as Chovy just going to chill out there in the mid lane. I think they just wanted some vision of what was going on. Yeah. And the deep teleport not really going to work there for Faker, as you just saw.
I'm not sure about the timing, but maybe that was defensive TP because of the Destiny? Or,
yeah, potentially.
Yeah, potentially.
Maybe. Also, he was just coming back to lane anyway, so you just may as well do that. Ward is going to spot out Cuzz. Doran going to be pretty safe here.
So much better lane for Chovy because it's the range versus melee matchup. But it's all about the team comp, and P1, they just need to farm in the early game and just look for the mid-game team fight like just happened in game 1. And Everything seems okay for T1, even though maybe losing CS on the mid lane a little bit. It doesn't matter, it's Galio still. So it really depends on second Drake, it feels like, because if DRX actually gives up the second Drake, then I think T1 is gonna have so much better team composition when the timing, when it's coming into the third Drake timing. So I think it really... Some snowball situation is really needed from DRX side, and it feels like they're getting pushed out, yeah?
Effort in position to go for some sort of dive, but as you can see, Faker's moving on down. DRX know exactly what's going on, and oh no, Deft underneath the turret, and he's just exploded. No ult necessary out of Cuzz, and no Galio required either. As looks like the Raptor is what Chovy's interested in. And Pyosik can put down the Rift Herald if he would like to, and he does so. Shelly pops down right underneath this turret. And Doran and Pyosik going to pick up a bunch of extra gold with all of those plates. So still good as far as money is concerned, but that first blood going over to T1 will even that out.
But the point is, Canna is not getting dove on the top side. That is the difference, you know? Canna is so stable on the top lane every single time, and you remember when he played against Renekton Evelyn, he didn't die like a couple of times, he just died one time, and he just realized that, okay, Evelyn and Renekton, he's gonna go come on the top side, and I just need to take care, and my team is gonna carry. I mean, it's not easy mindset for the top laners, right? But he's doing it, and that makes the game a lot easier. And the snowball setup from T1 is just way too clean, because the clean kill is not happening like many times in pro scene, when especially it's a strong team versus strong team, but T1, they're doing it.
Showstopper here towards the bottom side as Keria up against the wall, still has flash available, decides to go aggressive there onto Effort. Deft free hitting as much as he possibly can, as there's the Dawning Shadow. Teddy very, very close to going down, and Sett has already fallen. The ulti out there for Cuzz as DRX answer back on the bottom side.
DRX, I thought the T1 was setting up some good plays, but...
Alright, Hextech Ultimatum comes in. Faker wants to come down as well. They get the knock up onto Deft, who flashes away. Destiny forward from Chovy as they're trying to turn it once again. Faker flashing out as Doran still going aggressive. The tactical sweep not going to work out there as Cuzz from the backside is going to come in, see what he can get done, but he's now on the run. The red buff is going to tag him up, and the gold out of Keria is beautiful, as he's going to keep himself alive with that stopwatch. And DRX now walk away with 1,000 gold lead.
Oh yeah, the earlier trade from T1 was not great. The focus on Sett was just so much better, and the TP timing from Doran was easier as well, because Canna was getting CS on the turret and he was resetting first. So the timing was kind of off for T1, and better timing for DRX because they got advantage on the top side. So if they just waited for like extra 2 seconds, maybe the situation is gonna be completely different, but it didn't happen. So DRX, they're controlling from the bot side. Everything is slowly snowballing for DRX side.
Yeah, it's working out pretty well, as this fight was extraordinarily long. Cuzz coming in there and stealing away the kill onto Deft, but ultimately he's going to fall down as well, and Keria, the beautiful bait, as Faker almost gets that kill from over the wall with his taunt. Not quite able to do so, as Faker now booking it into this mid lane. Predator on the Galio, much like what Chovy threw down in game number 1. Same thing there for Faker, but not able to make it work there onto the gank against the Twisted Fate, as Chovy goes for a very long ride back to that minion with his shuriken backflip. And Doran 1-0-1 now as the dust settles, and actually has a slight gold advantage even after this minion wave is going to be taken down.
Yeah, even though Deft died twice, it doesn't matter. He's playing Senna, so he's gonna be useful anyways. And most important thing is their top side, because they are the main damage dealing in the early game, and it was not like them making the plays, but the reaction from them was just so picky. So those both plays kind of helped DRX side, but they just need to keep snowball. If they stop with this early game late, then I think T1 is gonna slowly chase them with the team comp advantage. So they just need to keep snowball, and it's gonna be the turret if they want to snowball.
I think also that if DRX are able to lock down a few more Drakes, that could skew things. It is going to be Ocean Soul this game, both teams with 3 of them available. And if DRX can get themselves Ocean Soul, that can certainly help them win, even if those team fights do end up happening. So look to see where that fight is going to begin. 2.5 minutes is likely when that is going to start. As we've got a 34 CS lead for Chovy in the mid lane. The TF having a very, very good time this time around. Feels like Chovy's got himself sorted when it comes to his usual farming tactics.
Yeah. I mean, Galio is obviously not a counter against TF, right? You just pick for team comp, and it just needs to pop off from T1 side when it comes to mid-game team fight, and that is really needed, you know? Kept saying that T1 has better team composition when it comes to team fight, but if they die and if they get snowballed by DRX side, it doesn't matter. Team comp doesn't matter when it comes to bad Braves and Akali on the top side. So I think they just need to group up and have a better team position and control on the object side, and that's gonna help T1 such a in a positive way. But DRX, are they gonna try to team fight or keep snowball? I think that's the choice from DRX.
Well, Destiny's going to come in, and T1 immediately backing away. Canna hookshots himself defensively. And Shirley, she's going to just go back to her house. And DRX are just going to focus here on the mid lane, as T1 are just going to reposition as best they can. Now, it's DRX's turn to start this one up.
Yeah. Tempo-wise, DRX kind of defend this header with the Destiny, so they have better position this time, but it's T1 now. They need to decide if they're gonna fight or no.
Yeah, let's see how this fight is going to go, as it is going to be Shirley locked down by Pyosik, but they haven't got the eye. It's into the back line. Goes effort. I don't know whether that was the best choice. It's Faker on top of him, but a little bit too late, as the taunt not necessarily going to work out. Solar Flare to interrupt the bullet time. Faker going to be taken down as the double kill comes forward from Deft, and Keria to be following Canna on the top side. He's not going to be able to keep himself alive, and a triple kill for the DRX 80 carry.
I'm not sure what was that, by the way. That was really optimistic engage by Effort. I mean, he could engage if he wanted, like 5 seconds ago, but that was really forced and not synchronized play by Effort right now. I mean, at this timing he could engage, but he got into the half HP. Your Volibear got zoned, and that was only Galio who could follow up. And even though you have great position on Misfortune, you do not have damage on the target. So that was such an engage from Effort, I would say. I mean, there is no offense, but that was such a troll play.
Yeah, it was very weird. As the Eye of the Herald is still just chilling and will just dissipate, as it all happened while that fight was going on. Cuzz coming on over here, not going to be able to grab himself the Rift Scuttler as Keria misses the Zenith Blade, so the bear is going to survive, but without his ultimate, and this should mean that DRX can grab the first Ocean Drake of the game. And now they're sitting on just over a 3,000 gold lead, looking much better in this one in comparison to game number 1.
Yeah. I think they just need to have have some time, just give up some turret and look for the farm, because right now, just look at the DRX side, they're all bad, and if the fight is gonna happen, the team composition doesn't matter anymore. They're gonna just die.
And also the team comp, I think, is saved a little bit by the Senna.
Yeah.
Because if everyone's standing in the ultimate, then you get so much more effective health on all of these squishy members that do so much damage out of DRX. And so as long as Deft's positioning is good, we mentioned it already, that this is a game that's going to be about positioning. Teddy, with a great bullet time, almost saved the team fight for T1, but unfortunately he just doesn't have the items to quite get there just yet. And Deft as well. I mean, he gets his ulti across his entire team plus the enemy team. Then that's a huge gain for DRX as far as health swing in a team fight. So looking forward to seeing how these next few fights are going to go. Should be in favor of DRX based on the gold. But composition-wise, T1 can still make a team fight work if their coordination is going to be on point. And this is what we were talking about, right? I feel like we're going back to the old T1 where it felt like there were some communication problems as effort. He's going to get spotted out here as the ultimate does fly back forward. He picks up Chovy, but Chovy looks pretty happy to do that. As Faker just in to save his Sett. And I don't know what it is, but effort certainly out of position a little bit here today.
Yeah. I mean, at game 1 it was fine, but he was doing okay. But this time around, maybe he's the mastery on that champion is not good enough to play on.
Potentially is now Cuzz. He's the one that's going to get snared up. Pyosik, end of the line, comes in as that's a good Zenith played out from Keria, who's trying to frontline. Flash comes out to get out of the way of the Solar Flare, and the Dawning Shadow is going to miss because of that one as well. I like the idea out of DRX, but good mitigation of aggro from T1 will shore them up and keep everyone alive.
Yeah, and I think they just need to have some farming time, T1. They keep forcing the fight, but I don't think they have enough power to fight back against DRX right now. It feels like DRX, they just need to like some auto attacks to just kill them all right now. So
yeah,
at least they need 2 cores on the AD carry, and then maybe Teddy can pop off in the mid game team fight. But look at the goal difference. The game was such an even game until 20 minutes, but
yeah. We've also now got we've got Chovy with his Magi's. He's got 6 stacks, only needs 4 more, and he's going to get that extra movement speed and that extra control that you pick up from the best book in the shop. Don't listen to Boris. It is definitely Magi's, the superior book that you can collect for yourself. 10 stacks on the Rod of Ages as well. He's got a bunch of CDR picked up with those Boots of Lucidity, as well as a cheeky little Fiendish Codex. And he should be on his way to his Zhonya's pretty soon and already has a stopwatch, so those Messiah plays can come in. Shout out to those of you who understands what that means, because that's from a very long time ago. Destiny comes forward, and this is just Chovy trying to get to the top lane. As DRX with map hacks will be able to trade to their life's content. Their heart's content, sorry.
Yeah, they just need to get some vision control right, and they have such a great CC to hunt them down when they're looking for face check on DRX's vision control side. So we keep having a hard time to going into the deep side in the jungle.
Oh, Chovy going to get caught out of position here just a little bit, as the Justice Punch was trying to mitigate the CC, but Chovy still walks out of the way. It's going to be fine. It's Chovy now going back. We'll see what he can actually afford with the gold that he has picked up there towards the top side.
I mean, the issue for T1 right now is that they're losing all 3 lanes. You cannot even get the mid prior. I mean, because of that, your side laner is having a hard time. I mean, just side laners itself, they're just losing 1v1 matchup. So nothing is just hopeful for T1 right now, because your mid lane is also really behind in CS. Their top side is completely got demolished, but their last hope again, when Faker is back, magically, the Teddy one is back. It seems like it's all about Teddy, and yeah, the team fight.
And now we can see that this dragon is just going to freely go over to DRX.
Yeah,
the Destiny used just for zoning. And I don't think I've ever spoken about a zoning Destiny before, but that's exactly what that was. And that is going to confirm Soul Point here for DRX, as Pyosik comfortably takes that one down. He's just quietly sitting on 2-0 and 3 now as well on this grade. So definitely having a good performance, much better than most of the graves that we see here in the LCK. Certainly feels a bit like a trap, as it's not like Lilia in the jungle, who's now 10-0, who's banned away in this game, and for good reason. It feels like.
Yeah.
Just feels broken in Korea. I don't know why it's all about Korea as far as Lilia is concerned. We've seen her lose elsewhere. But yeah, here in Korea, Lilia is an insta-win.
Yeah, because of the movement speed, we have better dodge skills, I guess. But anyways,
Maybe.
DRX is still under pressure though. They have soul point, yes, but there is still 4 minutes that T1 can freely farm, and also there is still Nasher up. The item wise, it seems like it's really hard to lose a team fight, but still, it's Teddy, right? Who is 50 CS ahead against enemy AD carry. So I really think it's all about, again, we mentioned, AD carry's positioning is the key point for this game.
Oh, yeah. And look, I mean, Teddy might be ahead of Deft, but both solo laners are leading on the side of DRX.
Yeah.
And the problem is that DRX have a lot of dive. They have a lot of ability to get into the backline and kill a less mobile AD carry like the Misfortune, who does want to be able to stand there in bullet time, right? But then Akali says, all right, well, I'll just kill you. As she can just ult into the backline and pick her off as Destiny comes through. And Pyosik wants to be able to grab the blue buff, and he does so very comfortably. And that, like, I swear, Destiny hasn't been used in order for Gate to come out at all. Chovy's only used it to get to lanes. But they've been able to utilize it really, really nicely just to make sure that they can take exactly what they want on the map. As now Pyosik will find a lot of damage there onto Faker. Make It Rain comes down from Teddy. Just testing the waters here on both sides. And T1 trying to get whatever vision control they can find as we've got the split push going on. Chovy up here. Might have a few friends turn up as Faker is going to be able to pick up this minion wave. The rest of T1 just here towards the top side trying to mitigate all of that side lane pressure that has come out. It feels like DRX are playing the side lanes very, very nicely, moving towards that 7,000 gold lead ever so slowly. I think it's going to be about this Ocean Drake that's coming up, like you mentioned, 2 minutes and 20 seconds now before that one is going to be there. 3 items completed for Deft, only 2 sitting on Teddy, who's going back now. We'll see whether that rapid fire cannon will come in, whether he's still a ways away. No, Hex Drinker. Just going to be that pick off. And we mentioned the Akali who can get into the back line. Hex Drinker is definitely going to help Teddy out.
Definitely. And there is no chance when T1 gives up this Drake because of the Ocean Drake. You need extra item then. You're even behind. So I think there's no way T1 is gonna win this game after losing the soul, Ocean Soul against DRX. So they just need to fight at the right timing to stop their Ocean Drake. And that's it, you know? They're not going Nasher, they're not doing Nasher because of the team comp. Zoning Destiny is happening again because of the safety.
Yeah. I like it. He'll have that one available most likely by the time they need to fight around the Drake. Anyway, Zhonya's is completed. Looking for a rapid fire cannon now onto Chovy. Get all those long range cards out. And he's level 16, so the nerf to TF is completely irrelevant right now. As Doran has a few friends down here, and he might need to be a little bit careful. The Shroud is only so helpful here for this guy, as there's the showstopper. Not going to be able to ult out of that one. Facebreaker comes in, but he is still able to keep himself shrouded. Pyosik turns up as Keria getting Zenith Blade into the backline. Doesn't quite find the solar flare that he's looking for as the Gargoyle Stoneblade comes out. Chovy now just running around really fast here towards the bottom side as Canna goes low, but it's a trade of top lane as Faker going golden as well, but the rest of T1 can't get into position. There's the bullet time finally coming out, but Effort has to flash defensively, and Chovy looking for Teddy. Piercing Darkness comes down as Deft really wants more, but isn't able to dive a turret as the squishy Senna, and DRX do walk away with a slight advantage, being able to take down one extra member of T1.
Yeah, they focused on Doran first, but because it's Akali with Zhonya's, it's just so hard to catch in a 1 second, even though you are 5-man. So
it would have been hard if she had have used the Zhonya's, but she didn't actually manage to in that fight.
Maybe he didn't have it before, but anyway.
Oh yeah, maybe. It might have actually been a stopwatch and he might have been able to utilize it, so you might be correct there as Ocean Soul comes in. And DRX looks so much better. Let's have a look at this team fight once again. Break it down for me, Wooded.
Yeah, I mean, the focus on the Akali. I mean, the escape route from Doran was just so clean. So they couldn't CC chain. That's the reason why they are actually having a hard time. After the team fight, they used so many things on Akali, but he didn't die. Maybe Doran, he just looked for not necessarily aggressive play, but anyway, team fight is really done so from the first place because you used every skill shots on Akali, but he didn't die. That's all.
Yeah. And now DRX with Ocean Soul now looking to set up for a potential Baron. We've moved towards a 7,000 gold lead. The solo laners are absolutely gigantic here on DRX. As Doran picked the wrong book off the bookshelf. But that's okay. Still will have the ability to stop a bunch of the healing that's going to come down. I mean, Canna has Grasp of the Undying, all right? So there's your healing that you're going to be mitigating. Not exactly the greatest game to have a Morello, but that's fine.
That is
LS
okay.
probably hasn't spoken to them yet. It's just Boris getting into their heads.
Yeah, I mean, you're ahead in game, so it doesn't matter. You can just go for any item with the AP.
Build what you want.
Yeah.
Where's the Warmogs? Warmogs Akali? That's what I want.
So they have to look for some cheeky plays, T1, because they are just that behind. There is not many chance that they have a winning team fight right now. Because of the different item difference is just so huge. So they just need to look for some miracle team fights, some cheeky ideas like Galio TP behind or Camille TP behind or something. But yeah, if you just go for straight up 5v5, there is no chance. And the vision control is real, and slowly DRX is gonna try the Nasher. So what is the answer from T1? They have no summoner spells on Misfortune, so maybe they're afraid to take the team fight right now, but are they gonna lose every single things that they have, T1?
Well, they could. There's DRX with a lot of control here around this area. They even sweep out that ward over the wall. And this control would also going to go down as Effort, just going to get chunked and destroyed. No way that he could get out of that one, and I just don't know why he was there in the first place. This will overflow into an inner turret in the mid lane. And now we're looking for a 5 versus 4 battle. Faker gets chunked, good solar flare into the back line as Teddy has his bullet time interrupted by that as well. It had barely even got a tick before Keria had stopped him in his tracks. As now Doran fighting with the rest of T1, but he goes into his Shroud. He will be pretty safe, still has the ulti ready. And so no chance that the Akali was going to die. Now Deft will be able to heal him back up again as well. As DRX just playing this one by numbers, trying to get rid of all of these inner turrets where they can. As Chovy hunting after Canna. The rest of T1 are going to turn up.
Yeah.
And this snowball is really starting to get absolutely ridiculous. As with Ocean Soul, I mean, you don't even need the heals out of Deft anymore.
Because of the one team fight in the early game, that made out a huge difference between those teams, and it really feels like T1, they really need to pull the trigger, otherwise they're just gonna slowly lose this game. Maybe there is still one hope, MF free damage, but free dealing in the team fight, but your supports are just dying in 1 second when you get CC chained, as you saw in that situation.
Yeah, exactly right. It's looking very, very scary here for T1 fans. As at least they're able to get through, get some vision down. They read exactly when DRX were going for their reset. And so they used that opportunity to the best of their ability. And now just looking to get in there and pull things away once again. Teddy almost has his flashback available and the cleanse is still there. So now T1 are probably going to be feeling a little bit better about a fight. Probably as best as they can, right? As it's never going to feel too fantastic fighting with a 9,000 gold deficit, especially against an Ocean Soul. As Pyosik, he's just standing here in this brush, interrupting backs where he can, as there are only a couple of wards in the inventory here of T1. And Teddy now on vision, clearing out this minion wave. And DRX, they do need to pull the trigger. They do need to actually do something. And I think going for an aggressive Baron play could actually be the way that they get into this game and really blow it open. There's 33 minutes into the game. If we get to, 6 items on everyone, then it's all about team comp at that stage. And yes, DRX will be able to get there first. Yeah. But now the Baron is going to be started. No vision here from T1. As they will venture into their jungle. There could just be a fight here. We'll see whether T1 can actually win it. Look, as you can see, still very high health bars despite the Baron being taken as Doran gets into the back line, throws down the Zhonyas as heroic entrance comes through as well. It's pretty defensive as Keria gets into the back line and will just be taken down. Great position from Teddy to maximize what he can do, but in goes Chovy and over the wall goes Pyosik. That's going to be the kill. Onto the Misfortune, slightly out of position. The Cuzz also going to most likely bite the dust here as well as Pyosik dashing on forward. It's going to be Deft grabbing the kill, and ultimately DRX will break the base.
Yeah, the reason why the vision control is so important is that you're gonna have to face check against the team who has the item advantage against you, and that's the play by DRX was just so clean, and there is a good dive.
Yeah, Deft is going to get caught out. Faker also going to die here as Canna trying to do the best that he can to get them away from these turrets, but I think T1 may have bought the time that they need to save their base for now. As DRX are going to back away. Pyosik pretty low.
Yeah.
They will get back to base, and let's have a look at this team fight once again.
I mean, they don't want to just 50-50 the Nashor, so they're just looking for the fight, and at first place, it looked like they're hiding out because of the positioning, but Keria, he bought enough time to DRX to reposition themselves, and Chovy, that Destiny usage was so perfect to have such a great aggro from all the T1 members, and that made easy team fight for Deft and Pyosik, and there is Elder Drake still.
Yeah, Destiny comes through, zoning once again. As Faker's back in base, he has heroic entrance and he has teleport, so he can be with his team at a moment's notice. These Destinies have really got under the skin of T1 here today, being able to stop them from doing any objective that DRX wants to. As Storm Razor completed here for Deft, he's going to do a lot of burst damage with that first rapid fire cannon auto. And I mean, Senna already does a lot with just one auto anyway. And as you can see, T1 now positioning to try and get even more inhibitors. Oh, the Glacial Augment's so frustrating as over goes Doran. They're looking for effort once again as he has to go into his stopwatch. See whether he survives, and it looks like he's going to. But getting all of these cooldowns out of T1 is exactly what DRX wants to do, as they might be able to just go back and grab themselves an Elder Drake. It looks like that's exactly where their mind is at.
This snowball is not that fast as we might know from DRX, but the way how they snowball is just way too clean, but yeah, the accident shouldn't happen because they're getting Elder Drake for free, and it's gonna lead them to the free win with the Ocean Soul.
Yep, that's Elder. Going to be picked up here. They should be able to move this into a Baron or into the enemy base, depending on what they want to do. As they're certainly playing this one slow and steady on DRX's side, and I'm okay with it. When there's a team that has had some more disappointing performances, I think it's better to go by the book as best as you can. Doran just playing goalie, as Effort's going to poke his head and gets a ward down. But I don't think that they're going to be able to take this Baron or offer any sort of response. So both of the big objectives go over to DRX, and if they can't win the game with this, then I don't know what they're going to need. They've got Ocean Soul, they've got Elder Drake, they've got Baron buff, they've got over a 10,000 gold lead. 12,000 gold lead, in fact. And now they're going to push forward and see whether they can actually end this game.
It's actually impossible to win the team fight right now. It's almost like a cheat. They have Ocean Drake Soul with Elder Drake, and with the Nashor buff. Can they actually lose the team fight? Is there a chance? No, I don't think so.
But there's only one way to find out, Widid. Let's see whether T1 can perform a miracle. End of the line comes down. It looks like DRX are just going to protect their siege minion as best as possible. As with these double rapid fire cannons, they're able to get a fair bit of damage there as Keria and Pyosik taking a fair bit of damage. Deft still just chilling on the backline as Doran needs to rotate over. Bullet time just going to be avoided as Solar Flare gets a triple slow as that haymaker into the backline. But oh my god, the Sett just exploded. Teddy now in trouble. Gonna get Destinied on as Doran getting himself out of the way. Meanwhile, the rest of T1 are relegated to their fountain. And despite the Guardian Angel, I think Canna might still just fall down as the next